think I know how to work this thing finally after all these years.
I don't expect
I don't
that
expect
much
it
from
either.
you, honestly,
I know.
Sean.
It's every day is a new day for me.
Still learning this computer
I'm
thing.
still learning. Yeah, I'm still. We're talking about 56 baud modems, so there you go.
Yep. Going all the way back there.
Yes. But we're not. We're actually looking to the future on this episode, as we do many times. And this is our traditional kickoff to our journey, our chats on the road to Las Vegas, specifically for our coverage of Black Hat USA. This year, 2025, of course. And we always lose count, I don't know, 10 or 11, something like that. Years ago, we were, quote unquote, hatched as ITSP Magazine in connection with Black Hat, and thrilled to have Steve on, Steve Wylie, the GM, for the event and many other things at Informa. And we're going to talk about all the stuff that's going on. It's a tradition we have with Steve, and it's always a pleasure to see you, Steve.
Yeah, likewise, Sean and Marco. And I think it is 11 years, by the way, because I think I've been with Black Hat for 11 years, and I feel like our start dates sort of align somewhat.
It does.
I think
Yes.
so.
It does. I think we
2014.
do this. I think we go over this every year, and then
I think so.
Sean is losing memory lately.
Well, we're
so
getting
we
older
forget
now,
about it.
so we got to remind each other of important dates, and
Yep, and
Check.
sure, it is important. I mean, for the industry, it's one of the most important events, and I know you guys do it in other places around the world, so it's not just Las Vegas, but that's what we're going to talk about today. So I think Sean did a little introduction about who you are, and we all know, I guess, what Black Hat is. What we really want to know is what makes Black Hat different this year from other year. Because it's never the same, right? This industry changed so fast.
it's never the same, and no two Black Hat events are the same from one region to the other and from one year to the next. And this event is no exception there. Black Hat USA, we've got a lot of new stuff to talk about, so really excited to be joining with you guys again this year. I'm happy to jump in, or if you've got any specific questions you want to ask about.
Well, I'm just going to go through quickly. We were actually deciding what kind of editorial conversation we want to record. And we were looking at the option to record on location in the press room, or those little homes that you're going to have there. So that's kind of interesting and cute and new. But the topics seems to me, of course, when I was clicking to see what's going on, the one with more things, I think AI kind of captured my attention. So you want to start from there, maybe?
Yes, let's talk about AI. And more broadly, we get asked the question all the time this time of year: what are the themes around Black Hat this year? And we don't tend to program the event that way because, as you guys know, the content comes from the community. So we put out a call for papers every year. We had a record-breaking number of applications this year. I feel like I tell you guys that every year as well, but it's true again. And we've combed through all those applications and selected our program, and from that comes some logical themes that we see sort of emerge. So AI, absolutely, yes, is the big theme. I was, doing some reviewing of all of the briefing sessions in advance of this call, and there's just a lot. There's a lot around AI. And it's not just our briefing sessions; it's with our trainings program. As you guys know, Black Hat has a big trainings program that happens from Sunday through Tuesday, 4 days worth of content, and these are in-depth courses, instructor-led, and we've got now a nice lineup of AI coursework in particular, which is new this year. So really meeting the demand. There's so much question and educational need around AI in cybersecurity. So we're rising to that occasion and providing that education. So trainings within the Arsenal programs and Arsenal Labs programs. There's a lot going on there. Our main stage, our keynote stage, across the board, AI seems to be the dominant theme for us this year. I would say as a sort of secondary theme that I see emerging is investment is back in cybersecurity, right? So it's which is really good to see. I think there was a few years that there wasn't a lot of investment going into anything, let alone cybersecurity. And now what we hear is that the investment's back, most notably around AI and cyber. And so we're seeing that theme really play out at the event as well. We've expanded our spotlight competition, and this is the competition where people with new product in the market or not in the market can pitch our judges on the viability of their new tech. And so we go through several rounds, and basically the final four get to come out to Black Hat in Vegas. They get to do their pitch at our Innovators and Investors Summit. They get to do their pitch on the spotlight stage for bragging rights as the winner, and they're also given a free pod in the startup zone on the Black Hat show floor. So it's we see it as a way to really help accelerate some of the newest and coolest tech out there. And when you've got sort of the backdrop of a lot of investment money freeing up in cyber, we just saw the Wiz Alphabet deal, right? I think it was $31 or $32 billion deal. It's Google's largest deal to date. So when those kind of deals are happening, there's a ripple effect. There's a cascading effect of there's more money going in, there's more companies being established, there's more entrepreneurs. So we've also taken full advantage of that to expand our Innovators and Investors Summit. And last year we were telling you guys about that as a new program, and this year we've built on that. It's our second year doing it, and this is really, it's the ecosystem of entrepreneurs, VCs, both early and late stage VCs, corporate investors, as well as CISOs, and really looking at that ecosystem of stakeholders around new tech and having a more closed room dialogue around sort of where things are going, with the lens being the advances in technology and the new products and companies coming on the scene. So really Steve, excited about that as well.
Do you feel like this AI wave, which is more than a wave, it's actually an entire ocean, in my opinion, but do you feel like that's really that buzz and that technology that is driving more investment in the industry more than policies and regulation and all of that?
It's a great question, and I would actually point to our 4 finalists, because I was observing this morning. If there's 4 companies that made it through to the final round for the spotlight competition, they are FireTail, KeepAware, Prime Security, and Twine Security. 3 out of the 4 of those, if you look under the description a bit further, they're all basing their solution around AI. So I think that's quite telling there when you see that 75% of the companies that are making it through to the final round are all leaning in heavily to AI. And then you see it across all of the exhibit areas on the floor. You'll walk the floor this year at Black Hat and you'll just see AI on everything, for better or for worse. That is just absolutely the dominant theme playing out.
Sorry, I'm muted there as I'm like scrambling to look at a bunch of things. Because one of the areas I always look at, and sadly, as someone in the media, I don't get to go to them, but it's the summits. And I was trying to compare on the fly here the 24 summit list and the 25 summit list, and it seems there are a few more. I see financial services that I don't think was there. Let's see, cyber insurance, micro summit. I think ICS was there last year. Supply chain, I don't think was there. If I'm not mistaken. Cyber insurance, micro was as well. I guess what's changed there? There seems to be a lot more summits, or at least a lot of focus on the summits, pre-briefings, right?
Yeah, a lot more summits. And if you think about it this way, the things that Black Hat are most known for, the Black Hat briefings, the trainings, and the Black Hat Arsenal. Those are the things that have been around at Black Hat for the 28 years that we've been in existence. It's what defines Black Hat, right? That hardcore technical content. We've been recognizing over the last few years, in addition to those hardcore technical practitioners that come to Black Hat to stay abreast of all the latest research and all the latest training, a lot of other people from our industry come to Black Hat every year as well. It is the gathering of our industry. It's Hacker Summer Camp. And so with that, there's a lot of opportunity there for us to have programs that are not targeted at that hardcore practitioner level, but more of that managerial audience. So you'll see across all of the summits, as we've branded them, type programs, these are all for specific audiences. with the idea that with when you can get some like-minded people, you can have good dialogue, good discussion, good networking around what's really pressing for a lot of companies. So you said a couple of them there, Sean. The Financial Services Summit is a new one for us this year. We actually launched one at Black Hat Asia this year as well, and it went very well. It's that intersection between cybersecurity and the financial sector, right? The banks and the investment companies and such. And there's a lot there. And we've always had, as Black Hat, financial services as one of our strongest vertical audiences that attends the event. So this is us really just saying we have the financial services sector at the event in a meaningful way. Can we build some programming that's relevant to them? That's because those folks are not going to necessarily go to a Black Hat briefing or training. It's going to be too technical for much of them. So this is a conference that's really geared more at the bigger picture, visionary strategy side of things around these important technologies.
Yeah, and I was looking at the where was the other one here? The supply chain, cyber insurance was there last year, but the supply chain micro summit. Tell us a little bit about that one too.
Yeah, supply chain micro summit. So that is also new this year, and that is a program that'll happen in the business hall. So it's part of our expansion of business hall content as well, which we've got a lot of this year. The idea here is that supply chains we still see that emerging too, by the way, in terms of themes and the content that comes through the CFP. There's still a lot of concern around our global supply chains. It's obviously very topical as well, just in terms of what's happening geopolitically around the world. There's a lot of disruption coming and has been coming. And so how are we as cybersecurity practitioners protecting ourselves with supply chains that are often now moving around the world as well, and really understanding the full level of exposure and vulnerability across your partner networks, across your supplier networks, et cetera. So that's a new one for us. We're hoping it's going to be a nice, strong demand draw for our audience, because what we hear from our audience is that continues to be a very important issue for them.
Is there anything that kind of surprised you from all the submission, that maybe something that you didn't expect that became popular this year? Like, what's going to be the buzz? On your opinion, something new that AI, we already know that.
Yeah, beyond AI, I was surprised, I guess pleasantly surprised at the hardware layer of submissions. There's a lot of hardware talks, great hardware talks. So, we always have that, but you see these trends sort of ebb and flow across the Black Hat briefings each year from what gets submitted. But there was a lot of really good hardware talks, and it dovetails in nicely with a new program that we rolled out this year, our Arsenal Labs, right? Which is basically, think of the Arsenal program, which you guys are familiar with, which is open source tools for the cybersecurity practitioner doing their job. The Labs is an extension to that. It's been incubating inside the Arsenal area for the last couple of years. We're now peeling that up into its own area, and this is real hands-on hardware hacking, sort of interactive area for attendees on the show floor. So I am kind of surprised by and happy to see that level of hardware interest in the event, because it just seems like so much of the conversation, is really largely around the software layers and AI. So this is good to see.
Yeah, there's still hardware.
Still hardware.
All in the clouds. And
we don't need to know how that works, so we just push the button. I'm wondering, this might seem like a strange question, but I was kind of scanning the review board members, and it strikes me that there maybe are some new names there. So can you paint a picture for how Black Hat itself has changed, maybe from last year to this year? But it seems like, just as a starting point, it seemed like there are more review board members, bringing different perspectives to kind of the talks, and I guess you need more people if you have more submissions, right?
Absolutely, that's part of it. It's something we've been working on for several years at Black Hat, and I can think back to when I joined Black Hat. I was going to say we joined Black Hat because it feels like you guys kind of joined at the same time. There was a board certainly in place, but it was maybe 25 or 30 people, and a lot of those same folks did the regional events as well. So there were regional boards established, but it was a smaller group. There was a lot of sort of sharing of talent around the world at the various Black Hat events. So we've been on a mission, our Black Hat briefings team, to get more board members, for one, just to deal with the increased volume of submissions that we get every year. But we're also working really hard to get more specialized and working really hard to get more regionalized. So we've built out now separate boards for all of the regional Black Hat events. We have separate boards for each track. So people on the boards can sign up for maybe 2 or 3 tracks because the work is intense, right? These people give up so much of their time and lives to review. As you guys know, the submission process for Black Hat briefings is rigorous and time consuming. Reading those submissions is also rigorous and time consuming because we want to give every researcher that's handed off their research to us to evaluate, we want to give them that fair shake. So that becomes a labor shortage issue. So we've been trying to expand the team. I think across all of the various Black Hat boards, we're up to nearly 200 people. So that includes our trainings programs, our briefings, of course, those are the big boards. The summits all have boards as well. The CISA Summit has its own board, the Innovators and Investors Summit, and a very different flavor of board, right? The summit boards are made up of more people from industry that are, like innovators and investors. We've got VCs on the board. We've got CISOs on the board, making sure that we've got that correct representation. Very different person that might be reviewing submissions content for a Black Hat briefing that's looking at hardware vulnerabilities and the research around that. So more specialization, more volume, more geographic diversification as well.
Yeah. Well, let's touch on the keynotes, because a lot of people want to know about keynotes, and I see some familiar faces like Miko and Ron. I mean, almost all of them, to be honest. I kind of know all of them, and Sean and I were kind of reviewing to see who we will be interested in talking. Of course, for me, it's more the human elements and the policy, and for Sean, it's obviously a little bit more technical. But what's standing out here for you?
Yeah, so you'll notice that this is a very different keynote lineup than is traditional for Black Hat. So we have expanded our keynote program, offering more opportunities to hear from some of our thought leaders. We've always sort of generally been self-restricting to 2 keynotes, one on Wednesday morning, one Thursday morning. We have broadened that, recognizing that we've got several very large stages in that building because of the size of the briefings program. I mean, some of those briefing rooms are 3,000 person auditoriums and are built like major keynotes at any event. And so we're leveraging some of that space to do more thought leadership across the Black Hat program. So I think all told, we're up to 6 keynote speakers throughout the 2 days of the event. So you mentioned a couple of them. I'm also really excited for them. So we've got Mikko Hipponen, Nicole Pearl-Roth, Ron Diebert. We've got Jennifer Granick, who's also a return keynote speaker, by the way. Chris Inglis, the former National Cyber Director. And then Dr. Madhu Gadamoka, who is the interim head of CISA. So that's a new addition as of just today. We've added to hear really the voice coming from the federal government and CISA, and them laying out their plans for CISA in the future. So I'd like to think that we've got a nice representation here across both public and private sector, both former and current administration, and some nice names that offer an authoritative voice in a time of uncertainty, and that it was sort of something generally we were going with as well. It's been a tumultuous time, and so in those times, having that authoritative voice is important. And so we've got some real rock stars within our own industry here coming to deliver those talks, and I'm really excited about this expanded program this year. This is something we hope to build on in the future as well.
Yep.
And I know when people request presence in the business hall, they're not pitching you, so you don't know exactly what they're doing. But I don't know if you have any insights, kind of back to your response to Marco's question about investments and where those are being made. But do you have any sense of what types of providers will be joining the business hall? Do you see any consolidation there? 2 or 3 companies coming in together as one this year versus last year? Any insights in the business hall would be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger. So we've seen quite a lot of volume growth this year, and I think there's always some M&A happening in our industry, of course. And one thing that's been nice about cyber, for any M&A that's happening, there's more companies coming in, generally has been what we've seen. So volume is up overall. It's going to be a big business hall this year. And we've also added in a lot of new features to the business hall as well. So I think our attendees should expect even more of the solutions providers. All the big guys are there as well. I think we have 81 or more than 81 companies in our startup zone alone. So that is the largest startup zone I've seen in my time with Black Hat. So that sort of also is indicative of a lot of emergent technology, which is great to see, great for our industry. I used to always hear from journalists that was sort of the place that they gravitated to on the floor. They wanted to go to the startup city and see the emerging companies, because that is generally what's coming next, and the companies that are going to be looking to get acquired or IPO or whatever their exit is. So it's really good to see that there's a strong, robust startup area on the floor, growth overall on the show floor, all the big guys coming out as well. So it's going to be it's going to be our largest show floor to date, which is a nice addition.
Get your steps in.
Every year you're telling me there's more and more and more. And Las Vegas is big, but I don't know. Looks like you're overgrowing.
I do keep an eye on that building. You know, we're fortunately they've got ample room for us to keep growing because they had a substantial addition onto the Mandalay Bay a couple, maybe probably pre-COVID, a few years back, and we're still growing into that new space, thankfully. But we've now reached a point where there's nothing else can happen in the building when Black Hat is there, right? Because there's not enough space for anyone else. Right. So we take the whole building.
No more dog grooming events.
Exactly. That's I was going to go there, then I wasn't going to go there. But there's no pet grooming events happening down the hall. It's all Black Hat.
My wife is not going to be happy because she always thinks I can bring something for the dogs back. But I'll find a way. Anyway, look, always great to chat with you. It's a tradition that, of course, we want to keep having and even expanding, obviously, and possibly to other events that Black Hat is having around the world. But this is the main one. Sean and I, the tradition is to actually drive, and we will be driving again this year. So everybody should be tuned for hopefully something from the desert. We'll stop and see what the chats on the road are going to be. Of course, is August the 2nd to the 7th, 2025, Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas. And we will be there, Sean. And I think we're actually doing something. I want to remind people that this year we have something new as well. We do a webinar that is part of our conference coverage. And it's about making a guess on what will drive the conversation for Black Hat 2025. And we'll have like some experts. And
so we got a few nuggets here that we can pull on. But, we're excited to hear from other folks as well. And
I got a couple of predictions, sort of non-traditional for you if you like them.
Go for it.
There is a drone hacking space on the show floor, so that could be a good conversation getter for everyone at the event. That's something new for us, and we're excited by that. You can get some nice hands-on time with drones. They are doing interactive sessions throughout the 2 days of the event in that space, highly interactive. There's a live drone capture the flag challenges is happening, and you'll be allowed to do some drone piloting as well. So I think that could be a contender. There's also a new career development zone on the floor. Not as sexy of a topic as drone hacking, but still, I think people want to advance in their career. And this year we've got a very robust 2-day program happening in the business hall that's all around career development. And we brought in experts from different areas to really help people with their own career planning, and we hope that's going to be a nice addition to the event this year. Because everyone needs that little bit of help to map out a path for them for their future growth, and that's a big reason why people come to Black Hat. So we thought we'd formalize that a bit more this year.
Yeah,
super cool. And of course, definitely AI will will be part of that conversation because it's taking the entry-level positions.
Yes.
And I'm going to say now, what I'm hearing, Steve, is I have to bring a burner drone, not just a burner phone.
Bring your burner drone this year. Yes. Absolutely.
Nice one.
Oh.
All right.
Well,
briefings,
we're looking
trainings,
forward to
briefings,
this.
Arsenal, all kinds of good stuff. Business hall,
Absolutely.
hacking, leadership, friends, hallway conversations, and Steve. It all comes together.
Yes.
Steve, and a shout out to Stephanie who helps pull all this together for us as well.
Shout out to Stephanie. Shout out to our all of our Black Hat boards. I mean, these guys work tirelessly, and they're so behind the scenes. But there are a lot of the folks that everyone knows, but they give up their time to come and do this with us. So we're always appreciative of them, and of course the Black Hat team as well. It's a real group effort over here.
Yeah.
Here from Black Hat World headquarters in San Francisco.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Nice one.
Well, we'll see you there. Everybody should stay tuned because we will be in conversation before, during, after, while we drive, when we come back, whatever. We'll be there. And if you cannot make it, not everybody, of course, can make it to Las Vegas, although a lot of people are trying, and we'll be there. Many other can follow vicariously through us, and and we'll try to do our best to cover the event and bring the conversation to them. So stay tuned, subscribe. Sean, what's the website page?
itspmagazine.com/BHUSA25. There you go.
Very good.
That's all our coverage. Steve, thanks so much. Really appreciate you joining us every year. It's a pleasure as always. Looking forward to a big hug in Las Vegas and a good week, the 2nd of
Sounds
August.
great, Sean and Marco. It's always a pleasure. Can't wait to see you guys in a couple of weeks and see all of our friends there in Vegas. It's gonna be exciting. So looking forward to that.